If you're a footballer that's been struggling with confidence on the football pitch, I'm going to be answering a few questions from some followers of mine over email. The first one, hey Taylor, honestly, I don't really have any question on either of these, or at least I can't think of it at the moment because I've learned so much from you on how to build confidence and enter the flow state at will. But one question I do have is what's the importance of an alter ego and how to develop one? I listened a lot to info about alter ego and how Kobe Bryant, may his soul rest in peace, had Black Mamba, which is who he channeled when he was playing a game. So this question basically is about the idea or the concept of an alter ego. And I think ego itself gets a really bad rep in Western medical care and well-being and social media in general. Everyone says, oh, he has a big ego. Well, I think also on the flip side, having no ego is also pretty bad because if you have no ego, then you'll never do anything for you. And if you never do anything for yourself, you'll never be good enough to help others and have the resources, the strength, the power, the facilities to help others. And in our context with football, that would be being good enough on the football pitch to play your position and to help your teammates. So if you have no ego at all, then you probably won't play sports at all because you have no reason to compete against other people and prove that you're better than the other team. But the reason why I do like the idea of an alter ego is because I think nowadays on social media, so many people compare themselves to other influencers, to other people online that are at a different point in life, making different kind of money, different kind of background, different environment growing up. And so you get into this loop of self-doubt because you see someone else who's your age, who's your height, who's your weight, and they're playing in the Champions League. And then obviously you compare yourself to them, and then you say, oh, I'm not as good as him. I thus feel bad about myself. The alter ego is more about creating the perfect version of yourself and chasing them down every single day and using that to motivate and discipline yourself into achieving what you really want in life. I don't think you get very far in life by just comparing yourself to others and saying, hey, I want what he has. That works a little bit, but the idea of an alter ego is that you create exactly your own painting. You create what you want instead of chasing what someone else wanted and they got. Because you're not the other person, you are your own self, or at least you need to become your own self if you want to truly achieve things in life. And really, success and confidence is just about mastering yourself and knowing what you're good at and doubling down on that. So, good question. Next one. I used to think deep down that I was the best player on the pitch, hence why I was performing really well. After my long injury, that thought had died, and I'm not at the same level as I was. My question is, how can you reprogram your thinking to believe you're the best? Well, the funny thing about confidence, and I'll be covering this later in June in what I call the confidence conundrum, which will be a live workshop where I'll be talking in depth about this topic, is if you try to chase after confidence or ask, why don't I have confidence? You are already signaling to yourself that you don't deserve confidence, and thus you don't have confidence, pure and simple. So the more you tell yourself, how can I get confidence? You'll never get confidence because you don't get confidence. Confidence comes from within. You don't search outside yourself to get confidence. If you're chasing what's called external validation all day long, then you'll never become internally validated and get confidence from within. So it's all about allowing your confidence to come out and express itself. And I think that the best way to show your subconscious that you are deserving of that confidence in the first place is by building up lots of small wins and victories in your life via action. So if your actions all day long are telling yourself that you don't deserve to be confident about something, then obviously you probably won't be confident about it. If you never train football, then there's no reason that you'll be confident at football because you're not skilled at it. So thus it would be a natural conclusion to be unconfident about playing football because you're not good at it. So pure and simple is you need to rack up tons of victories small, medium, and large, across your journey. And that will step by step build up your confidence because you've actually started to tell your subconscious that I am deserving of success because I'm walking the walk, and you're not just talking the talk. So there's no secret to reprogramming your mind. There are tons of affirmations you can do, all these things where you stand in front of a mirror and you say, I am great, I am strong, I am healthy. That doesn't mean anything if you don't actually back it up with action. And the best place for action to start is small victories, like I'm talking about, where you just start small, step by step, you build up, and you create this momentum of confidence, more or less, because you start to tell yourself, okay, I'm building my competence. I'm building my competence, and the more competence I have, the more confidence I will have. If you're not sure what competence means, please look it up. Different than the word confidence. So good question there. All right, so our third question. Hey Taylor, I'm good at consistency and discipline, but ego and confidence and depression, I have questions. First, my confidence is good, but I lose it. My first question about confidence, is it true that true confidence is the absence of self-doubt or the ability to act in spite of it? Well, first and foremost, I'll say if you lose your confidence, then you don't have good confidence. Confidence doesn't go away. It's something that you have all the time because you are your own man or woman, and you know your own skills, and you trust in your ability to execute whatever you have to do. So if your confidence goes away and it comes back and it goes away and comes back, that's not really confidence. That's just moments of feeling good. That's waves of dopamine, short-term validation from other people, from yourself, from music, from food, alcohol, drugs, or even the lies that you tell yourself. Confidence, if it's true confidence, is permanent. You have it because you've honed that skill. You've built over decades your ability to handle a sword, so you know how to handle the sword, and you're confident with the sword. So if you're a footballer and you've played many years, don't forget that doesn't go away. You've made those reps. All those reps are in your bones, in your skin, in your fascia. They don't disappear just because something goes wrong. And on the idea of the absence of self-doubt, I think also it is a false illusion, or better said, it's an illusion that you'll never feel self-doubt. Even the most confident people feel self-doubt, but the reason why their confidence is true confidence is because they're able to acknowledge that self-doubt or that worry. They're able to see it in plain sight, and they're not allowing that self-doubt to control them. They're aware of it, but they're not going to let it control them, and it's their ability to act in spite of it, like this guy was asking about. And second, ego. Is it possible to completely kill the ego, or does trying to do so become an ego trip in itself? Yeah, so I covered this on the first question. I definitely think it is a really unsmart, low intelligent, low brain cell thing to kill the ego. And I think it's largely is a psychological operation to make young men think that they have to not want things, to not chase after things, to not aspire for greatness. Because if you kill the ego, then there's no reason for you to do anything in life. There's no reason for you to go and get a job and have all this money and a family and a house and a car, and to actually go and make something of yourself. And all those material objects, that doesn't have to be your measure of success, but you have to chase after something. Like, go and accomplish something in your life. Go make something of yourself, instead of having no ego and being on a beach all day and just breathing and meditating, which is great, but there's a time and a place for relaxing, and there's a time and a place for becoming someone, being useful to society, being helpful to your family, and that requires an ego to prove yourself and to become someone. And third and last, depression. Is depression always a disorder, or can it be a rational response to a broken system or life situation? Also a very good question. I think largely this modern day diagnosis of depression is false. It's a total myth. It's designed to sell big pharma, meaning pills, and to sell antidepressants, all of these different kind of chemical solutions to a physical problem, which is basically you're depressed because your life is not where you want it to be. Things need fixing. And depression is your body's way of telling you, okay, bro, time to wake up, time to fix some things, time to get healthy, time to sleep on time to figure out what you need to figure out, whether or not that's your career, your love life, your health, your wealth, anything in between those things that I mentioned. Depression is nature's way of telling you to wake up. So I think it is a rational response to a broken system, and if you're going through tough things in life, it's normal to feel sad in the moment, of course. Like, you don't have to be a robot. It's okay to feel things, but what's not okay is to allow those emotions to overwhelm you, to lean into them, and then allow those overinflated emotions to push you to drugs, alcohol, video games, porn, all these things that are meant to pacify or to desensitize, all meant to pacify our experience of life, to take us out of nature and to put us into a box. So if you are feeling depressed, enjoy it, because you'll be really happy years from now when you use that pain, you use that feeling, that experience to push yourself to make a change in your life. I think oftentimes people forget that it's very rare that people change stuff when there's no pain. Because you could have been doing this training for years to prevent injury, but instead you messed around, and then once you got injured, that pain pushed you to research about biomechanics, about health, about the mitochondrial function, about fascia, and that pushed you to make a seismic change in your life. So be grateful for whatever happens in life. I know there's across the world, there's so many different things happening in different environments, different cultures, different religions, but I think everyone can agree that depression is a rational response to life, and you need to wake up and you need to go out into this world and fix it. Hey guys, I hope this video made sense. Hope you guys enjoyed this format of answering questions from my email. If you enjoyed it, down below in the comments, please leave a comment about what you'd like to hear next. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Taylor. I make world-class professional football players. I'm the world's #1 consultant for professional football players. So if that's you, hit that link down below and send me an email about what you'd like to work on, and let's talk about making you a Champions League footballer. All the best. Talk soon.